These are the records of my birth 35 years ago. For most people, this piece of paper and this gender assignment, it's something that you never think twice about. But for millions of transgender people, this changes the course of their lives forever. I knew from an early age that my gender identity did not match the biological sex I had been assigned. Although I had been born with a penis and testicles, I always felt that something was not right. I was stuck in a body that was not mine. I was stuck in a society that refused to accept the truth about my gender identity. You cannot tell someone is transgender by just the appearance. We are diverse, we come from different backgrounds, but we share a lot in common. We face numerous challenges, such as stigma, high levels of violence, discrimination, and health issues. I never knew how difficult it would be to transition. Transitioning is emotional, social, medical, and legal. And for most in the transgender community, they go through this process and life after alone. I started my transition just before college. And my parents, like parents of other transgender people across the world, found this unacceptable. They even refused to pay for my education, knowing very well that I could not do it myself. They demanded that I shave my hair, and I submitted. I loved education, but my first year of college broke me down. I was drowning in depression. I was living a lie. And so I began my social transition. I started off by dressing in female attire in accordance with my gender identity. And it was unfortunate because my family ended up cutting ties with me. I never even had an opportunity to pick my personal belongings. In fact, these are the only two pictures I have from my past. Later on, I began my hormone replacement therapy. But if you think self-acceptance is difficult, public acceptance is even harder. Many people refused to acknowledge my gender identity. I was refused medical attention and hormone therapy. I even had to self-medicate myself with estrogens. Getting employed was impossible. I was often accused of stealing someone else's identification and academic documents. So I eventually ended up in the village, alone and extremely poor. Most transgender people, end up ending their lives rather than live under the constant persecution that comes with being their true selves. Suicide rates among transgender people are extremely high. Familiar faces such as friends, families, and neighbors become their oppressors. And our government rewards our oppressors. I have been raped. I have been deserted by my friends and family. I have been stripped from my clothes by people who wanted to determine my sex. I have been thrown in filthy cells with the male population. You name it. But I am here in front of you because against all odds, and despite losing everything, I managed. But I could not have done it without the support of my grandmother and a few others who believed in freedom. I am not bitter, but it is my mission to share my strength and story with others who face the same challenges and struggles that I faced. In 2008, I founded the Transgender Education and Advocacy to promote the rights of transgender people in Kenya. Over the last 10 years, we have grown our membership to more than 100 trans people and allies, tackling some of the toughest problems we face in the country. If you think it's hard to engage governments to promote your rights and freedoms in free and democratic countries such as the US and Norway, then think twice. Our government is not shy of cracking down on minorities, the opposition, independent media, and dissent. Our elections are often rigged by those in power. Authorities constantly use violence for their ends. It is a government that cannot be held accountable for their actions. Take my case as an example. In 2014, the year 2014, the High Court of Kenya ordered the government to change names and gender markers in identification and academic documents of transgender people in Kenya. They refused to do so. They even refused to register my organization. The transgender debate continues to receive some attention in Kenya and in Africa. However, it's a very young and under-resourced movement. We have achieved modest success, but a lot needs to be done. We want a society where people respect people's gender identity. We want a society where transgender people can compete on a level playing field without stigma, discrimination, and violence. And that is why organizations such as T, the HRF, and others exist to make it possible for us to live in freedom someday. And you can help too. It doesn't matter if your career has a direct human rights focus or not. You can make a difference. In your pockets, using your phones, you have the ability to reach thousands through social media and show support to your local transgender people and communities. Reach out to them, listen to their stories, and learn more about their struggles. Because by you adding your voice to this conversation, it helps us in ending transphobia. I earlier mentioned that this is a struggle that most of us face alone. But today, standing here in front of you all, united as one, I do realize that I am not alone. Thank you very much.